This is the XP Pen Artist Pro 24 Gen 2 display tablet. In this video, we'll take a look at how it performs, comparing it to other brands available on the market, particularly the leading brand, which is Wacom. This video isn't sponsored by XP Pen. They've obviously sent me the tablet for free, but it's an honest review and I'll tell you all the bad points and good points about the tablet. If you're interested in purchasing, there is a 30% discount code. Check the link in the description for that, and it's valid until the 30th of September. Again, it's not an affiliate link, but apparently it is the best price you will get at the moment. So to start with, the Gen 2 aspect is kind of important. The Gen 2s are quite a big step up. So if you're purchasing any of these display tablets from XP Pen, they do them in different sizes. Always go for the Gen 2 because there is that marked upgrade in the quality. So let's take a look at the different specs. Firstly, it costs £959, usually fairly similar in dollars, so you're looking around that sort of area in terms of price. Now, for comparison, Wacom, the leading brand, is around £1,300, so you're paying an extra third again. And a bit of a spoiler alert, I don't think it's worth it these days. This is, in my opinion, as good. And maybe you get a few extra features with the Wacom, but it's not really worth it, in my opinion. Anyway, continuing with the specs, it's a 4K screen. It's 24 inches, hence the 24 in the title. And you can have different versions. So there's the 16-inch, the 12-inch, and so on. Just look for the Artist Pro Gen 2 in the title. That's what you're looking for to get this kind of quality. They're both the usual in quality, in colors. It does look really great. It's got the 99% sRGB, and you can switch between different color spaces apparently, but that's not something I really need or use personally. But apparently it's got 3 color spaces you can switch between. Now, it's worth saying it's not a touch screen. They only seem to offer touch screens for smaller sizes. Another brand, Huion, does have a touch screen at this sort of size range. The problem is with Huion that the drivers are always a tiny bit glitchy, and what I've found anyway. And I've found that they don't work in programs like Krita, so slightly more obscure programs you could call it, but Krita's a free program and it's great, it's used by lots of people, so be aware of that sort of compatibility issue that you might get with other brands. I've found XP Pen is very good with its drivers, and therefore they're a brand that I would always recommend. So if you really want that touch screen, then go across to Huion. That should serve you well. Just make sure and check that it works within your different program requirements. Also, it's worth saying that it's not a standalone tablet. You do need to plug it into a computer. It's basically a monitor that you can draw on. So what's in the box and what does it come with? Well, it's got 2 different pens, and you can program those pens for different aspects within your programs. So if I open Blender, I've got different controls in Blender than I do in something like Photoshop, for example, and you can make sure that they have the different buttons in those different programs. That's fairly normal with these sort of mid-range to upper level brands. Some of the lower brands don't have that functionality, and it's a little bit more awkward, and you have to change between each programs. It's fairly simple though. You do just go into the driver program and change it, but it's just awkward, and it's nice to be able to save your preferences in each program. It also comes with a controller. I don't really tend to use the controller much. I just have the keyboard to the side. So I use the keyboard controls because I have lots of shortcuts that I use within each program. And you can obviously set this controller up with all those buttons, but it's something that I never seem to get used to. One thing that's nice about the controller, it does have a wheel, and those wheels can be good for quickly changing brush sizes and things. Also in the box, there's lots of wires, but if you've got USB-C, then you only need the USB-C and the power cable, and that's how you plug it into your laptop or PC. If you haven't got USB-C, then you need the USB and the HDMI and the power cable, and it gets a bit sort of messy, but not that it makes too much difference because you plug it in and kind of forget about it after a while. So how does it perform as a tablet? What's it like to draw on or sculpt on? Well, it's a really great experience. I used Photoshop, Krita and Blender, and I was really impressed. The pen sensitivity was excellent. It felt like the right amount of virtual ink was coming out of my pen when I was making my strokes. So if you're not aware, these devices have pen pressure sensitivity. So the more you push on the pen, it will change the size of your stroke and the strength or the opacity of your stroke. Now, often the more budget brands or mid-budget brands, which XP Pen kind of sits within, they sometimes have this slightly uncomfortable levels, leaving blobby bits at the end of your stroke. So if you're trying to make a stroke that varies in size, it can be quite a strange transition. And that's where Wacom in the past has been excellent. And things like the iPad as well is very nice with these sort of strokes that conform nicely to the pressure that you're putting in. Well, with this tablet, I was really impressed and it felt really nice and comfortable, a really excellent drawing experience. And that's been the difference for a long time. And that's now not a difference in my opinion. I thought it was fantastic. So honestly, I can't see why you would go for Wacom these days. Maybe some amazing artists out there can tell me what the difference is, because it seems like a really great experience with this XP pen. I can't really tell the difference, so what's the point in spending that extra money on the Wacom? The other thing we talk about when we're measuring the quality of a tablet and the drawing experience is the parallax, and that's the kind of screen thickness, so the distance your pen is away from what you're actually drawing on. And some of the cheaper brands will have much thicker screens. And that's something to look out for. It can make for a slightly more uncomfortable drawing experience, especially if you're just at a slight angle, you move to the top corner, suddenly your pen is a fair distance away and you're not getting the same accuracy. Well, again, the parallax in this is excellent and it's comparable to the top brands. Once again, making for a really nice, comfortable drawing experience is something you won't really think about. The next is pen wobble or pen jitter. This is when your pen moves across the surface and you move it quite slowly. You might see a little bit of jitter in the actual pen mark that you're creating. Again, cheaper tablets will have a lot of jitter and you can kind of get rid of that with smooth stroke, but if you use the smooth stroke, you can't make fast brush strokes as easily. So if you have a really scratchy, sketchy style, which I tend to have, then you will find that if you have the smooth stroke turned on, you won't get that same responsiveness. Well, this doesn't have much pen jitter at all. It's hardly noticeable, so you don't really have to have that smooth stroke set to a high range, and therefore you can have, again, a comfortable drawing experience. It's something that they've gotten rid of, and it's really excellent and performs as well as my SenseLab and the Wacoms. So all in all, this adds up to a fantastic drawing experience once again. So what about the drivers? And I alluded to this earlier with Huion. I'm not a big fan of the Huion drivers. Like I say, I use Krita and I can't ever get the Huion to work with Krita. It's the same with things like Gammon and UG. They're cheaper brands than the XP Pen and Huion, and they always seem to be very slightly glitchy drivers. Not a major problem, and other people report that they don't have a problem, but maybe it's the hardware that I'm using, but it's the same on my laptop, the same on my desktop PC. I haven't tried it on a Mac, so maybe they don't have the same problem with a Mac. And I'm not using Linux systems, so maybe they don't have the same problem on those. That's something that you can research for yourselves. But the drivers are all important for your hardware to work with the software. And in the past, I found XP Pen is the best out of the budget brands for the drivers. I don't have any problems with my SenseLab either. They've got some good drivers as well, so no problems there. It's a great experience setting it up, just plugged it in, installed the drivers, restarted the computer, and it all worked with no modification needed apart from changing the settings in the pen. And again, that's a very easy process. Into the drivers, go to the pen settings, change them to your specific program, and you just add your program in there, change the pen, and you're away. So all in all, an excellent experience. Would I choose this as a graphics tablet if I were in the market for buying a new one? Yes, I certainly would. And this, I would say, is my go-to graphics tablet for now. The XP Pen Artist Pro Gen 2, that's what I would purchase as a beginner or a professional, in fact, because I think they're a fantastic piece of kit. I'm really happy if you disagree with me. Let me know in the comments as I read all the comments, and maybe you should read the comments as well, see what other people are saying. That might give you some ideas about the different brands that people have used and their experiences. So do share your experiences. I'm quite interested to find out what other people have found with the different tablets. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.